today's episode of Nat Chats, I'm going to talk about how to avoid FOMO and overpaying in the current Perth property market. With newly listed properties attracting hundreds of buyers and selling with multiple offers, many buyers tell us that they're worried about overpaying for a home. Here are my top 5 tips to help you shop and buy a little more wisely. Number 1, know and shop in your budget. It sounds simple, but in this market, if something's advertised in the 700s, it will likely sell for at least that, if not more. If your price range is in the 500s or 600s, shop there. If you can't find what you want in your price range, it's probably time to adjust your search to either a smaller size property, different type of property, less well presented home, or different suburb. Number 2, do your research. And by that, I don't mean an online valuation report, that's the fastest way to heartache, but really getting to know what's selling and sold recently. Nothing beats going to as many home opens as possible and immersing yourself in the local property market. Number 3, don't pay for someone else's reno. Basically, the better a property looks, the more competition there's going to be and the more you're going to have to pay. Competition is fiercest for renovated and pretty properties. Play there if you've got the budget and can afford it by all means. But if you've been consistently missing out, consider taking a different route. The ugly ducklings, the less well presented and unrenovated homes attract a lot less buyer interest and competition and tend to sell more reasonably. This is where you're likely to pick up a much better value buy. That said, whilst cosmetic renos can often be done modestly, moving walls and making structural changes and adding rooms can't. Be sure to buy something with good bones where the floor plan is going to work for you. Number 4, just because it looks good doesn't mean it's good for you, which also relates to the previous tip. House hunting seems to become more and more like Tinder each year. Do you buy the gorgeous renovated character on the subdivided lot, or do you look a suburb or two further out and get the original mid-century cottage on the full block with subdivision and renovation potential? Of course, you still need to be happy with the home and the location, but buying a home is a big investment. Better to wear your nana knickers and make sure it's a sober hookup. Number 5, have realistic expectations, and dare I say it, be prepared to compromise. 6 years ago, we sold a 5x2 McMansion to move into a cosy 3x1 character cottage back closer to Beaufort Street. I share it with my husband, 2 teenage sons, 2 dogs and 2 cats. It's one of the smallest homes we've ever owned, but it's the happiest I've ever been. We only got aircon a few months back, true story, nearly 6 years without it. My kitchen has no corner cupboard doors. The previous owner removed them because they were all busted, and I've got Laminex bench tops. Oh my gosh. Why? Because after having lived in a lot of homes, I realised that there's a difference between having a huge amount of space and the right amount of space, and that for me, location is everything. Larger and flashier didn't make me happier. Well, it was nice at the start, but granite bench tops won't make you a better cook. Although I do have a client that's just bought a 9K steam oven that I believe might. Look, I appreciate it's a very personal thing, but if you're struggling to afford what you want, maybe it's time to adjust your expectations and accept what you can afford. Start with what you genuinely need rather than what you might want, and go from there. Unless economic and market conditions change drastically, I don't see a change or things slowing down anytime soon. One thing to consider is that whilst it might look like you're paying slightly over the odds for something now, with price growth predictions for Perth as high as 19% this year and prices still lower than the peak back in 2014, that might not be the case in 12 months' time. If you live in the suburbs surrounding or nearby Beaufort Street and would like more advice about buying or selling, please give me a call on 0405 812 273. I'd be happy to help and love to have a chat. Have a great day.